Another reason I left church, Christianity, fundamentalism, and church is because church supports xenophobia and Islamophobia. Now, you might be saying, what the heck is xenophobia? Well, if you've been reading the news lately, you probably have a good idea what that is. Xenophobia, spelled Xenophobia, it's defined as attitudes, prejudices, and behavior that reject, exclude, villainize, and discriminate against individuals based on perceived perceptions, stereotypes, for people that don't look like Americans. They look like outsiders, foreigners, to a community, society, or national identity that has a stereotypical look. A good example would be if a white American saw a Hispanic that doesn't look like the stereotypical American and then told him to go back where he came from, even though he's a fourth-generation Hispanic immigrant with legal documentation. Kind of sounds like what's going on in America right now. We need to get rid of the idea that America has a stereotypical look. We're a melting pot. An American can be an Asian, a Mexican, someone who's French, Argentinian, Canadian, or even Ethiopian. I mean, America isn't like a lot of countries where 98% of them are a specific skin color, hair color, and eye color. You look at places like Sweden and Norway, they have a stereotypical majority look based on, the people. But America's not like that. We're a melting pot. We have people from every country on the globe. So expecting or fearing somebody for not looking like an American you'd see on a real estate billboard is utter ridiculousness. And it shows the ignorance of Americans when they take a look at a Hispanic man who's well-dressed, boosting the economy, a good worker, and make comments about you're not an American. Because being an American doesn't look just like one way. I mean, I'm white, I'm a female. I look like the stereotypical white privileged American, okay? But I meet people every day that are Japanese Americans, Russian Americans, and it can be anything from tourists to residents. You don't know. I stopped guessing if somebody is from America because, I get it wrong 75% of the time. And xenophobia is a prejudice. And the word xenos is a Greek word. It means foreigner, stranger, and phobos means fear or dread. It's basically a word that says that there is fear or dislike of something that is unknown. People never fear something as much as the unknown. So how do we see xenophobia put into practice, especially in the U.S.? Well, we can see it through discrimination and exclusion. Xenophobia can manifest as prejudice against immigrants and ethnic minorities, leading to unfair treatment in areas like employment, housing, and healthcare. And we touched on this in several other videos. If you're not a white health patient, you can lose up to 18% of being diagnosed at the same time as a white patient. African Americans, on average, wait 18% longer to be diagnosed. Hispanics, your race basically determines whether or not you survive. If a Hispanic child goes missing, they'll never have the media coverage a white child has. If a crime is committed by a minority, that person will be villainized more than if a white perpetrator did it. When we see a poster that advocates for ICE raids, they always use a stereotypical Hispanic Latino person, because that is the stereotype of an illegal crime, an illegal criminal, when very few people who are legal immigrants commit a crime. And it's not a crime to be in the U.S. without documentation. It's only a crime if this isn't the first time you've been caught doing it. If this is your secondary, if this is the second time you've been caught and you've been previously deported, that's when it becomes a crime. But if it's your first time being here without documentation, it's not a crime. It's an immigration violation, but that's not the same thing as a crime. Now, hostility and violence. This can fuel hostility towards people from different backgrounds. This can escalate to hate crimes, violence, harassment, spitting at people, or telling people verbally to go home, even though they were born here or came over here legally. It can also, xenophobia can be political and social division. Xenophobia can be exploited by political leaders like Trump to create divisions and cause immigrants to be scapegoats, especially for minorities, for policies that restrict access to resources for targeted groups. What is the mental and emotional toll on people? Well, individuals targeted by xenophobia can experience significant mental and emotional distress, including stress, anxiety, depression, isolation. They might also lose their life. So what causes xenophobia? Social and economic insecurity. During times of economic hardship or social upheaval, people may blame immigrants or minorities as scapegoats. A lack of contact in education. Limited exposure to different cultures or historical facts in history can foster fear and mistrust of unfamiliar people. Education can play a role in promoting understanding and counteracting prejudice. Media portrayals, negative or